Hello, and welcome to the Take Home Workshop Polymer Clay Dishes, brought to you by the Friends of the Bettendorf Public Library. Here is our polymer clay dish we're going to be making today. It is also ringed with some gold leaf paint, which kind of just gives it a fun glow up. So I'm going to show you what supplies will be included in your kit today. You will have a rolling pin. You'll have some paint in a straw, and you will have your clay. Things that you will find handy to have during this take-home workshop are a scissors, maybe a paper plate or some other, or a paper towel to work on, and maybe a knife or a plastic knife to do some cutting of your clay. And then the last thing you'll need to provide is something circular in the shape and size of what you would like your dish to be. In your kit, you'll take out the clay that you've got. You will have 2 strips of white clay and then some colored clay as well. You might want to cut or break that clay in half. And although this clay may look white right here in the video, it's actually a purple color, and these are the white clay. So you'll take these little squares of clay that you have. Sorry, they're not squares, they're rectangles. And we're gonna roll those. You can roll these just with your hands, or you can use your roller. Your roller will come in handy a little bit later. So these I just rolled with my hands. And you want to roll these somewhat evenly until they're about the same length as your white pieces. It does not have to be perfect, just approximate. So once I have those rolled out, I will roll my other 2 in the same manner. I've also rolled my white clay just a little bit, just to make it a little round there. Okay, now I'm going to twist my clay together like this. Okay, once I've got that done, my next step is I'm going to roll this into a little ball like this, so you can see that the several different colors are going to be marbled throughout there. Then I'm going to take this in my hands, squish it into a ball. Next step, I'm going to take my rolling pin and I'm going to roll this out. Now, when I'm rolling, I want it to get to approximately a 1/4 inch thickness. I want to roll it into a circular shape because I'm going to use my cup that I have here at home to make my shape. Now I'm not going to measure it, it's a 1/4 inch. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I also want to make sure that it's pretty even, it's not lumpy. So I'm going to run my hand over it, and then I'm going to roll out just a tiny bit more. Okay, so now that I've got that rolled out, my next step is going to be to put my cup on it and trace around. The next step will be to use a glass or another round object and place it over your rolled out clay like this. The glass that I'm using is approximately 3.5 inches wide, just to give you some reference on how big this will end up being. And I'm just taking a butter knife and I'm just going around here so I can have a uniform line. And you don't even really need to cut it with a knife, you can just peel it off. Does not need to be perfect by any means. It's just nice to have a mostly even line around there. Okay. Anything that got out of shape, you can just shape back up. This clay remains soft until you bake it. Alright, so this is what my dish looks like after baking. I pinched it a little bit just to kind of give it a scalloped edge. I want to talk to you a little bit about baking and baking dishes. You will bake it in a 275-degree oven for between 10 and 15 minutes. I did this one for about 13. We want to make sure that it's hard and no longer movable. For different baking pans, for my first example right here, I actually just used a cupcake tin. For this one with the scallopy edges, I do not have a tin that's shaped like that. I just shaped it myself, put it into a big baking dish, and popped it in the oven. You may have a baking dish that's exactly the size and shape you want, and feel free to use that. I'm just showing you, even if you don't have something exactly that size, you can still make a very successful dish out of it. After baking, you want to let the dish cool in the baking dish for probably about 15 minutes before you take it out. When I took it out of the cupcake pan, I very gently tapped on the back of this to set it free. It took a few taps and then it came out. For this, I just got a pot holder and I took it out of the dish. Our next step is going to be applying the gold paint. So for this, I just have a paper plate, or you could use a paper towel. And my paint is in the straw. So I'm going to take my brush, grab some paint, and then I am going to cover this edge with my gold paint. Once you have that painted, let it dry for, again, about 10 to 15 minutes so your paint's dry, and then you can use it to place little things in, a key maybe, some earrings, whatever you like. And there we have our polymer clay dish. Thank you for joining me today.